Have you ever wondered how to convert a Canada visit visa to a work permit? Well, it's not as complex as you might think. Today, we're diving into this topic, breaking down the process and importance of transforming your visit visa into a work permit. Imagine the benefits: a stepping stone to a new life, countless job opportunities, and the chance to experience Canada's unique culture. Stay with us to understand this process in a clear and simple manner. First, let's understand what a visit visa and a work permit in Canada mean. A visit visa, as the name suggests, is strictly for visiting purposes. It allows you to travel throughout Canada, whether to explore its breathtaking landscapes or visit family and friends. However, it does not permit you to work or study in the country. Now let's switch gears and talk about the work permit. A work permit, unlike a visit visa, grants you the right to work in Canada. It's a legal document that allows non-Canadians to live and work in the country for a specified period of time. This could be for a few months or even several years, depending on the type of job and the terms of your employment contract. So, what's the difference between these two? Aside from the obvious fact that one allows you to work and the other doesn't, a work permit also provides a few additional advantages. It paves the way for you to earn income in Canada, which can significantly enhance your quality of life. Moreover, it can also be a stepping stone towards obtaining permanent residency, if that's something you're interested in. Now that we understand these concepts, let's move on to the process. Scene script. Not everyone can convert their visit visa to a work permit, so who is eligible? Well, let's get into it. First and foremost, you need to have legal status in Canada. That means you are currently in Canada with a valid visit visa. Without a legal status, I'm afraid the conversion isn't possible. Next, you need to have a job offer, but not just any job offer. It has to be from a Canadian employer who has obtained a positive labor market impact assessment, also known as LMIA. This assessment proves that there is a need for a foreign worker to fill the job, and no Canadian worker is available to do it. Another important factor is the nature of the job. It needs to be classified under the National Occupational Classifications, skill type 0 or skill level A or B. These are managerial jobs, professional jobs, and technical jobs and skilled trades, respectively. In addition to these, you must also meet certain health and security criteria. For instance, you may have to undergo medical examinations and provide police certificates. And of course, you need to have enough funds to take care of yourself and any family members who come with you to Canada, both during the application process and once you start working. If you meet these criteria, you're one step closer to converting your visa. We'll delve into the conversion process in the next scene, so stay tuned. Now, on to the main event, the process of converting your visit visa to a work permit. First and foremost, it is crucial to understand that this process is not an overnight journey. It requires preparation, diligence, and a fair amount of patience. But don't worry, we're here to guide you through every step of the way. The first step is to ensure that you have a valid job offer from a Canadian employer. This job offer should be for a full-time and permanent position, and it should meet the prevailing wage levels for the occupation in the region where you'll be working. Once you have a job offer in hand, the next step is to apply for a Labor Market Impact Assessment, or LMIA. This is a document that your employer in Canada needs to obtain before hiring a foreign worker. It essentially shows that there is a need for a foreign worker to fill the job and that no Canadian worker is available to do the job. After your employer has obtained the LMIA, you can then apply for your work permit. This involves filling out an application form, which can be found on the Government of Canada's website. In this application, you'll need to provide information about yourself, your employer, and the job you've been offered. The next step is to gather all the necessary documents. This includes your passport, proof of your job offer, the positive LMIA, and any other documents that prove you are eligible and qualified for the job. Once your application is complete and all your documents are gathered, you can then submit your application. This can be done online or by mail. However, online applications are generally processed more quickly. After submitting your application, the waiting game begins. The processing time can vary, depending on a number of factors, such as the number of applications the Immigration Department is currently handling and the complexity of your case. During this time, it's important to stay patient and be prepared to respond to any additional requests for information or documents. Once your application has been processed and approved, you'll receive a work permit and you can legally start working in Canada. But remember, your work permit is tied to the employer who offered you the job. If you want to change jobs, you'll need to go through this process again with your new employer. And there you have it, a step-by-step guide to converting your visit visa to a work permit in Canada. It may seem daunting, but with careful preparation and a bit of patience, you can navigate this process successfully. Remember, patience is key. The process may take time, but the results are worth the wait. Scene script. However, there are some common mistakes you should avoid during this process. First off, let's talk about documentation. It's super important that you don't miss out on any important documents. You might think that one or two missing documents won't make a big difference, but it can. It's like baking a cake without one of the key ingredients. Sure, it might still be a cake, but it's not going to be the best cake it could be, right? So always double check, even triple check your documents before submitting them. Make sure you have everything the application requires. Now let's move on to another common mistake: not updating information. This is a real bummer when it happens. Imagine if you've moved to a new address or changed your phone number and you forget to update this information on your application. The authorities might try to contact you, but they can't reach you. So always keep your information up to date. It's better to be safe than sorry. The third common mistake we're going to talk about is misunderstanding the process. It's easy to get confused with all the rules and regulations, especially if English isn't your first language. But misunderstanding the process can lead to errors in your application, and these errors can cause delays or even rejections. So take the time to understand the process. If you need help, there are plenty of resources available online. And remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. If you're unsure about something, ask. Finally, a quick tip on how to avoid these mistakes. Be organized. Keep a checklist of all the documents you need, update your information as soon as it changes, and make sure you understand the process. It might seem like a lot of work, but it's worth it. You're not just applying for a work permit, you're applying for a chance to start a new chapter in your life. Avoiding these mistakes can increase your chances of successfully converting your visa. So, take a deep breath, stay focused, and you'll be on your way to working in Canada in no time. We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's recap. We started our journey by understanding the basics of a Canada visit visa and a work permit. The visit visa allows you to tour the beautiful landscapes of Canada, meet your loved ones, or even attend business meetings. On the other hand, a work permit empowers you to work in Canada and contribute to its robust economy. We then delved into the eligibility criteria for converting a visit visa into a work permit. Remember, not everyone can make this transition. You must be in Canada legally, have a job offer, and meet all other criteria set by the Canadian government. Next, we walk through the step-by-step process of conversion. It involves applying for a work permit from within Canada, providing all the necessary documentation, and waiting for the government's decision. It's not an overnight process, so patience is key. Finally, we discussed some common mistakes to avoid, like not checking the validity of your visit visa or failing to provide accurate information in your application. These mistakes can delay the process or even lead to a rejection, so be meticulous and double-check everything. With this information, you're now better equipped to navigate the process of converting your Canada visit visa to a work permit. Good luck!